What's up, guys? I am Andre.
I'm Achla.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to the very first episode of On the Trail.
Nice.
So the purpose of this, we can call it like a show. It's not a podcast. We don't have the headphones on, so it doesn't mean it's a podcast, right?
Yeah,
is that the rule of
what it
thumb?
is,
Is that how it happens?
Yes.
But the purpose of this show is that recently we took up the challenge to hike all of the 48 New Hampshire 4,000 footers.
Yes.
And what we want to do is just talk about our experience with each and every single trail. And it's going to be almost 2 weeks ago, we went up the Mount Pierce, Jackson, and Webster Loop. That was our last hike. And if you haven't watched the 4,000 footer journey chapter 2, which covers that hike, make sure that you stop the video right now. Just press pause.
Go there.
Right now.
Go watch it right now.
Right now.
But before,
Yeah.
give us a like on this one and then a like on that one.
Yes.
And then come back, subscribe.
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe.
Turn on those
Subscribe.
notifications.
So should we give them? Let's give them a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait for you guys. We'll wait. I'm gonna drink my coffee while we're waiting.
Did you do it yet?
All right.
So Mount Pierce, Jackson, and Webster Loop. That was a 9.1 mile loop. Even though in my phone, and that's a weird thing, we use all trails, and in my phone, I think I got it like a 10.2 miles.
Yeah, mine was around that too, 9 something. But I had to stop because we fly the drone.
That is true.
Hiking.
That is true. We did not land the drone above Alpine Zone though.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, because make
There,
sure.
there was a place.
Yeah,
there,
if you're gonna fly your drone in the Y Mountains, they do not allow you to land the drone above the Alpine Zone. So make sure that you don't do that. But so, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the mountains, about the views, about the trail itself? How was the experience for that?
For me, like the trail in total was awesome. You know, it was a really nice day. I made a wrong decision to start the trail with a wrong jacket, and like the beginning was really hard.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that we had just recorded the interviews for Chapter 2 of the 4,000 foot journey, and Ashla had talked about the fact that he had talked about the fact that the first hike, one of the biggest lessons he learned is that he took too much on the first hike, and then here we go again, a year later, a little bit more, a little over than a year later, and he made the same mistake.
The thing is, I didn't bring too much on this one. The only thing was like, I wasn't sure if I was about to get like really cold there, so I was like, maybe I'm gonna get this jacket and 2 socks. As soon as did you
start the hike with both socks?
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yes, in the video you can see I'm changing the socks.
That is true.
But like the beginning was kind of hard for me. I felt I was like about to like pass out and throw away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy, and like I was preparing myself, you know. After we went to Franconia Ridge, I decided after Monadnock, the first of this year, I decided for myself I'm gonna prepare myself. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna run or eat healthier.
Yep.
But as soon as I changed my clothes, and thank God I was prepared with some fleece, because if I haven't brought that fleece, I would be like screwed. Because
the black jacket that you brought or you were wearing at the beginning of this hike, it's only the outer layer, right?
Yes,
there's no in between.
It's kind of fluffy. It's like it's not heavy, but it's heavier.
But it's just that one thing.
Yeah.
There's no zip separation between the outer layer and the.
No, it's not like a hiking gear. It's a jacket that you use for like when it's cold, winter. But not like outdoors.
Yeah.
And then, but the rest of the day, like, I don't know, like, we were talking about that. Like, we thought that Franconia Ridge is harder than this one.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It is. But at the same time, for me, I think because of the snow that we had, and because we had to walk through the trees, and there were some moments that because of the amount of snow that we had, we lost ourselves, a couple of times.
I mean, I think the thing is though is that Franconia Ridge I think is walked more than this one. I'm pretty sure.
Walk more, you mean? Like
y-
more miles?
No, walked on more. Like a lot
Oh.
more
More
people.
trafficked.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a lot
more
more
traffic,
traffic.
okay.
Yeah, thank you. So I think that yes, but then no. But like to the freaking twigs in your face all the time thing, I think it made the trail more annoying,
Yes.
not difficult, just
Yes.
annoying. Because like all you're doing is ducking and diving out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt that we have more snow than Franconia Ridge.
Yeah.
Well,
And that made me, for me, it was kind of, I was tired.
it's because Franconia Ridge, for most of the hike, I'll say for 2/3 of the hike, you are above the alpine zone.
Yeah.
So snow usually doesn't accumulate as much as going up to the mountain. So that's why I thought, to be honest, even though Franconia Ridge is a hard hike, I think it felt a little bit harder.
Pierce and Jackson?
Yes,
Oh.
because when you're going up Franconia Ridge, you go up. Usually when we go up through a little haystack, and there's it's
That
2.5 miles, 2 miles, 2.5 miles of just going uphill, steep, no rest whatsoever. But this one, the problem with this one, it was up and down, up and down,
yeah.
up and down, and left and right, and up and down. So it's like you never knew if you were how close you were, because with Franconia Ridge, as soon as you get to the alpine zone, a little haystack, you know that you're there.
And the wind, I don't know, like the wind.
It was very windy.
Very windy, and like the cold makes you feel colder. So like, I don't know. The final one, Mount Pierce, for me, it was like I couldn't look up because it was so steep that I was like, I'm gonna just look it down and keep going as soon as I get there.
that one, oh my god, that one took like 5 seconds to get up. That was like
Which
the
one, Mount Pierce?
quickest. The very last one, super
my
quick.
Was the last
God,
one
but
Mount Pierce?
Yes,
It was
Mount Pierce is
so
the last
quick.
one.
Like, yes, it was like really steep,
Mhm.
but for some reason somebody decided to carve it out that way. Oh, it was so easy. Like
That's true. It was kind of
like,
fast, but
because like you
was
get
hard.
tired going up, and then like as soon as you're up, you're like, wait, really? I'm here? That
Yeah,
was so
going up
easy.
Mount Pierce wasn't bad. I think that wasn't Webster. Yeah, Webster, which is the first mountain, was a little bit difficult. And then going from Webster to Jackson was also somewhat difficult. But from Jackson to Pierce, it was pretty simple because Pierce was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Pierce was that beautiful view of Mount Washington.
Yeah, the Mount
Yeah,
Washington.
between Jackson and Pierce was easy going, but there's some moments because, like Achille said, I think that the worst part of this, maybe it's not that it's so much as harder. This trail at this time that we went, it was just really annoying because of all of the down trees. It wasn't very well maintained. The trees were overgrown into the trail. There's some points, I would say probably like 3 or 4 times we got lost on the trail because of trees and because there was not really good signaling throughout the trail.
Yeah, but like, there like all that we said, like flows away when we remember that we were able to see Mount Washington. Like you could touch Mount Washington, it was so close, and that for me was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That was, I think, and that's what I'm saying. I'm so torn between the views of Franconia Ridge and the views of this loop. Because while Franconia Ridge is just beautiful because you're hiking on a ridge, and I much rather hike on the alpine zone and on a ridge because the views are unparalleled. You see mountain after mountain. It's awesome. But when you're there, ending the hike at Mount Pierce and being able to see Mount Washington in all its glory and all of the other presidential mountains nearby, it was breathtaking.
Yeah,
it was because I had never been so close to Mount Washington, and the day was beautiful because it was clear and you could clearly see the mountain. So it was like the icing on the cake to finish there.
I don't know if I agree with you guys with the difficulty. I had a really easy time, like going up. It was like so easy.
Oh, sorry.
No, because if we're
athleticism over here.
comparing it to Franconia Ridge, that one is so hard. Like like you guys are thinking like, well, you go up and down and up and down. It's like, but you're going up a mountain, you're getting to the top of a mountain, and you're looking at the views at the top of the mountain. You did the same thing for Mount Lafayette. Like you go down Lincoln and then have to go up.
Maybe it's a more of like it's psychologically harder, because when you're in the Franconia Ridge, after every mile or two, you're rewarded with one of the most beautiful views around there.
Well, yeah, because you're not looking at trees anymore.
No.
Yeah, no.
But with this one, it's grueling to the point that it's just trees, and there's a little bit of clearing, and then you go back into the trees, and then there's more a little bit more clearing.
And you know something that also like takes like a lot from me. We took so long to stop and eat, and I was like starving, and because I was starving, like wanted to eat something. Everything was far away, like so far away. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to!" And we were, doing the videos, stopping, and also, like the psychological thing, because we were with like 8 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And only like me and Dre, in the most of the parts, we had to stop, take pictures, do the videos, and everybody was like 30, 45 minutes away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And in our minds, we were like, we have to go. I can talk for myself. I was like, I have to go. I have to go. I need to take the pictures. I was
taking my sweet ass time.
Yeah, I was like, I have like people are there. They probably waiting for us. And as soon as we got at the top of Mount Jackson, and you guys were all lost, like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? We have to go.
You guys, I was just waiting for you guys.
That's true.
But everybody else was like,
I heard
slightly freaking
as soon as
out.
I heard this weird buzzing sound behind me, I was like. What's that weird sound? There's no bird that sounds like that.
And then Anthony's like, Attila, Andre!
And it just echoes through all the cascading. And it's just like, and then all of a sudden an avalanche comes over. And you're like, I think we hear Anthony.
True. It's because we were taking our time to film, to take pictures and stuff like that. And there's something that I've been doing in the past few hikes, is that I'm not rushing whatsoever. I am taking my sweet ass time to really take in the view, especially with mountains that I haven't hiked. I don't know what's up next. So I'm not, for me, I like to take a little bit easier, but it was, I did feel bad because you guys were waiting at the top of Mount Jackson for people said about 25 minutes for us, and the wind was like insane. Yeah, it was like good 25 mile per
found, when you get up to the top, like of any mountain, you could say, whenever you guys are hiking, you figure this out, that there's one side that's really windy and one side that's not.
But Mount Jackson, apart from where you were waiting for us, there wasn't that a lot of wind. But it was just that part, because Mount Jackson there, every single side was exposed.
Yeah, so you can find parts, like especially during windy times, you can find parts that you can just go down.
You guys could come back a little bit and just wait for us.
Yeah, we could have done so many different things, and it was fine. But it's like it's that other thing of like, we should be taking our time anyways. Like once you get to the top, it gets way too cold. Yeah. But once you find your way around and stuff, you'll be fine. Yeah. Either way, they had to wait because they couldn't find where they were going. So.
Now it is funny though, because I'm usually the more cautious one when it comes to a hike. Well, I like to research and to know exactly what I'm getting into. Mm-hmm. And the whole week I kept sending to you guys, hey, it's gonna be windy. It's gonna be windy. And then Anthony was like, no, by the time we summon the first mountain, it's gonna be like 10 miles an hour per wind.
It's because you overthink everything.
No, it's not overthink.
Guys, you guys are gonna fall from there because of the wind.
I didn't say that.
People die on the trails, guys, because of this.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All I said was like, hey, it's gonna be windy, so let's just be ready for it, mentally ready, because it's gonna get windy. As soon as we summit Webster and the wind is like still 30 miles an hour, I looked at Anthony.
I wouldn't say that.
At Webster, 30? It was 30 miles. At Webster, it was 30 miles. By the time we got to Jackson, it was like 20, 25. Okay. But at Webster, it was much more windy than Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, in Pierce, it felt like it was still really windy.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was still windy over there, too. But, like, it's also, like, when you think about wind and how it works, You have the taller mountains that don't get like all of it, but like air circulates and goes like hits down to the valley, and the valley usually has a lot of wind because of that too. So like it comes up and rotates at the top. So
point is, make sure you check the how windy
Yeah,
it's going
that's
to be.
really important.
yeah,
Because if, for example, if I hadn't overreacted about the wind, or if you hadn't at all checked the wind and we didn't have a good outer layer,
Yeah.
we would have been in trouble
Oh, yeah.
because the wind just adds a lot of, I don't know how many degrees to the cold. It drops significantly.
Yeah.
It hurts
And
you.
yeah, we were pretty cold on top of, especially Webster and Jackson. The last one, we couldn't stay there as long as we wanted because it was so windy.
I mean, once we got up to the first one, which was Webster, right? Yeah, Webster. Once we got on top of that, we were out there. Everybody was already like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is awesome!"
Yeah.
And then like 2 seconds later, somebody was like, "Oh, this is way too cold.
Let's go. Let's
go."
Jeez, get
Jeez,
moving.
freezing. Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
But I think overall, I think I enjoyed it, but I don't think I enjoyed it as much as a lot of other hikes. That one, I think that a lot of it was because of like the twigs in your face the whole time you're going. Like every time I felt like I had to hold the branch like behind me, and it felt like it kept slowing you down, slowing you down. Another thing is the snow was always steep. Like
Yeah.
every time you walk, sometimes there's like steps that are on the trail that you have to like be careful of because then you fall
you
through.
Yeah, Pedro kept falling into
Yeah.
the snow all the
There
time.
was-
Because that one, that's true. I had forgotten about that. If you take a couple of steps out of the well-packed part of the trail,
Yeah,
you
you
fall like
fall
a good
straight through.
6 feet, 5
We were
feet.
using micro spikes, so that's why when we weren't using snowshoes, so that's why we fell through. But there was this one part too of like there's like two paths. I think one person went around the main one, but like we went the same way as the guy that used the snowshoes, and then we just kept
And you guys
falling through.
Oh my
Falling
gosh.
through. Like
We
I was,
saw some steps there.
Yeah.
Like
I was like,
that's
oh,
the other way.
they were here. They
Yeah.
were
so
here.
yeah, we signaled Dre and Achille were like ASquaredMedia.
Yeah, and they
Don't
drew
go
like big
here.
X's
Yeah.
on the
No.
snow. Do not go through here. No, but I felt like because anytime that I had to get out of the tree just a little bit to get like a better shot, I would sink in
Yeah.
a good 5 to 6 feet into the snow. Not
Yeah.
six. I would say 4.5.
Yeah.
Six. I'll be under the snow. But it got to a point that it got into my waist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
But
A lot of
it
snow.
made
A lot
me
of
feel
snow.
like though that people didn't want you going there, like going to Mount Pierce, because like Mount Pierce was the way that there was like not a lot of snow was packed in, and that's why it was like harder for us to like find where to go, or hard, but yeah, so it was kind of like difficult to weave our way around, and so like you kind of sit there and you're kind of like thinking to yourself like, maybe we shouldn't go up there, or maybe I don't know. But I think overall, though, it was cool. It was a lot of fun, but again, it was not as much as like another.
All right. So what
So-
if you could rate it out of 5? Because
Oh my gosh.
we
You
love.
You love to
I
rate.
do. I love to rate everything. If you could
Everything's
rate
out of 5.
yes,
Out of 5,
out of
yeah.
5. If you could rate the Jackson Pierce Webster Loop, what would you rate it out of 5?
4 because of the view at the end of Mount Washington.
Give me one of the biggest pros of hiking there.
Mount Washington.
Seeing Mount Washington so up close.
Yeah, that's probably a view you probably can't get other than by like going on that loop.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious of what it looks like in the summer.
Well, we still have like 44 mountains left, so we'll see if we can get that kind of view.
And
The biggest con about hiking that trail at this time of year.
it was just annoying. It was really annoying. Like it wasn't well maintained during this time. Like you can't like get through. And a lot of people like there was a guy that was walking back. He was telling us, he was like, "Hey, so this part of the trail, like there's a lot of down trees and there's not enough. There's a lot of snow, and so you're gonna fall through." And we're like, "Oh, well that sucks because all the wind
There's
is
not much
Thank
that we
you.
can do. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was a part that we kept falling. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Right, between Jackson and Pierce. Nice, Angela. Yep. So while Achla fixes his microphone here because he can't sit still, I think
Actually,
you
the
gotta
other way,
put
the other
the
way.
paper.
You gotta go the other way. All the way, yeah. There you go, and then keep the paper in there, because then you're gonna scratch it up.
Yeah, please. My wife will murder us all. So you give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. I think
Even a 4 out of 5, even with all the cons that you just talked about.
Yeah, I think it was still a good trip, because like I really liked the view on the first one with Mount Webster. I think it was really pretty. I think it's not like you're up high and you're just like looking down at everything, but it's a view that it's really pretty. But also at the end with Mount Washington, it was really pretty too, because seeing Mount Washington up close like that was kind of like breathtaking, because you're like just standing there like, wow, this is like a big ass mountain right in front of me. And I thought I was on a big ass mountain, but I ain't no big ass mountain.
What about you, Achla? Out of 5, what would you rate this hike?
I was thinking, I don't know. The whole time I was waiting to see something like Franconia Ridge, and I think that was something that, as soon as I noticed that no, it's not gonna be the same, I got kind of because Franconia Ridge, when you were walking there on the summit, you're like, even if you're really tired, but you get like distracted with the beautiful view. I'll rate 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
What is the biggest pro? What is the biggest con? Let's start. Let's
biggest
leave
con
on the positive.
Of
So
the trail
biggest
this
con.
time, I will agree with the maintenance of the trail. Was kind of hard sometimes to walk through. A lot of trees. Mateus almost got blind.
Oh yeah, that's true. Though there was like a stick sticking out, a branch sticking out, and I don't think he was like paying attention, or he might have grabbed one of the branches.
I think that he grabbed
and
one,
then it came back to him and like poked his eye. So it was.
Yeah, so you have to kind of be careful. So that would be the biggest con. But it's funny. Like for me, the biggest pro was when we were going up Mount Pierce, and then I could fly the drone a little bit and see Mount Washington and see everything that we walked. That moment there, and that part over there was perfect. Like you were kind of like a mile less than that from the summit, and you can see everything. So that part was really nice. But I have two big pros: that and the restaurant really nearby that we went after to eat.
What was it called?
One
Love Brewery. One Love Brewery.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
R.I.P. eating at restaurants. that was the last time that we ate at a restaurant after a trail. We're gonna go hike.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is very sad. We're gonna go hike Sunday, so in 2 days. Maybe, yeah. We will see what happens. We'll see what happens, but
because there's a lot of people saying that. Because my job is actually saying, let's do everything over the weekend.
Even it is outdoors, but the whole thing about the rescue and being really thoughtful about going there, and we never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But like we have this goal, and like in my mind, I'm like I have to go.
It hurts
because
I was talking.
48's a lot.
Yeah, we've been we live in Massachusetts, and we've been under self-quarantine for a week, and I don't know what happened yesterday. It just took a toll on me, and when you feel, I don't know, I just felt trapped. I needed to go, so I even texted the guys like, hey, we no matter what, we gotta try to make it out there. Just let's make sure that we take the precautions. Make sure that we take the precautions. We don't stop anywhere. We eat at home and stuff like that. But who knows? This whole coronavirus is changing so often that we might not even be able to make it out there, which is sad, because it's like I just said, you have that goal, and I don't know, and it became a routine, but a routine not in a bad way, a routine in I'm expecting every 2 weeks to go hiking, to be outdoors, to have that experience.
It's because I think that for us, hiking is not only going there, finishing the mountain. like when I'm inside of the environment and the floors, I'm like, it's amazing. You know, it's like another world that I'm living in that moment. And like being able to do that, it's the same thing that I have friends that do that with soccer. You know, they need to have like Thursday night soccer. In my life right now, I need to have hiking Sundays. You know, my wife already understands that, and she like, okay, so 2 weeks, okay, so every 2 weeks, but like to be kind of forced, right?
Not to be, but we understand though.
that.
We understand. We're not saying this that in an irresponsible manner.
Yeah.
It's just we are going to do whatever the government asks us to do.
Yep.
But it still sucks not to be able to do that. And we understand that there's a lot of other people that are in much more dire situations because of this.
Yes, and that's the biggest reason, I think.
Yeah, but it
So
sucks anyways. But anyways,
what do
coronavirus
you,
talk over.
What are you giving the trail?
My microphone's about to fall too.
1 to 5.
This trail, I don't know. I'm still having like mixed feelings about the trail. I think I would give it also like a 3.5.
3.5.
3.75. A 3.5. I'll give it a 3.5. It's a great trail. I think I would say the biggest pro to be honest, while it was annoying, I really liked how difficult it was in some points.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of difficult. It wasn't difficult that like, oh man, I have to climb for 2 hours in super rocky terrain. It was difficult because we had to duck, we had to crawl in some moments.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the fact that it was
brought some
difficult.
equipment too, so that made
it made it fun. I think the biggest con of the trail, man, biggest con.
There's a lot of them.
I would say the biggest con about this not the trail itself, but this us going out hiking was taking too long to eat. Usually we stop around 11:45 noon, 12:15 max, and on this trail we stopped almost at 2.
Yes.
And maybe that's why for me it was so hard.
Yeah.
Because I was already expecting to eat at 12, and then we had to wait like 2 extra hours, and that between Webster and Jackson or the hut. What was the name of the hut?
Between
Mitzpah.
Yeah,
Mitzpah.
Pierce and Jackson.
Yeah, Mitzpah hut. Those 2 miles felt like they were 15 miles. I kept stopping every like 5 minutes. Like, Achla, how far are we? How far are we? Because
even though like it's not that long. Like
no, it's not that long. But again, like I'm saying, it was all in my head. It was in my head. Because I was we got into this routine that at midday we'll stop for 20 minutes and eat.
Yeah.
And we were going 2 hours over it. So I was tired. I was hungry. I was thirsty. I lost one of my Nalgene bottles. My hot tea wasn't hot anymore.
You lost. It
was after that. It was after. But I think the biggest con would be that the trail itself. It's like, if we didn't have the view at the end, I wouldn't have enjoyed as much. I think that view in the end, being so close to Mount Washington, made it all worth it.
Yeah,
made it all worth it.
Oh my gosh! One
what
con.
Was your rating?
Oh, sorry.
3.5.
I remember one con going down my feet, and like we wouldn't stop. Sometimes when you're going down, we kind of go to like a flat.
Yeah.
No, that one was like only down.
Crawford Path. It was a Crawford Path trail.
I think so.
The one that we were coming down. Yeah, it was straight down.
Like my knees.
My knees were
my toes. Oh
killing
my gosh.
me. Is it Crawford Path?
I know that you were kind of, you're like all the time, oh my gosh,
Anthony's the kind of person that he just goes and he never suffers anything. But this one, he was like,
doesn't
he
care
had
about
to
his
stop.
body, his soul, he just go.
Yeah, he had to stop because his knees were
knees
suffering.
Definitely did suffer, and my left ankle was feeling something.
Left ankle.
But
all right,
overall, I think I I think there's a lot of better ones. It's good, but there's a lot of better ones that we're gonna find.
We gotta get through it though.
Yeah.
But just to wrap it up, biggest.
That's been so nice.
I know. We have
How long is
30 minutes.
This is 30
That's
minutes.
nice. Yeah.
We have other stuff that we need to record because we don't know how the next few days are gonna be.
That's right.
We're taking today to record like a bunch of stuff.
'Cause we have game night tonight.
Yeah, and there's game nights.
Yeah.
Game nights, couples game nights. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to keep yourself sane in moments like these.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm interested before we wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
One biggest takeaway from this hike. What did you take away from it? From this experience?
I'm a pack leader.
A pack leader.
I'm not a follower. I get annoyed because most of the time it's like I feel like especially when you're going with a lot of people, a lot of them just like wander with like this like look in their eyes, and they're like looking around, and they're lost because they're just looking around, and it's like it's
Just
right
Leave
there.
the tag on
Just-
the tree right there.
Focus your eyes. It's there. I think that part, but most of it was like my mindset isn't on like looking around more than it is, just kind of like getting to the goal. Because I'm that type of person that's like, all right, so we're setting out on this goal, so I really want to accomplish it, so let's go and beat it. And I'm a person that's too headstrong to be a person that would be able to linger around unless I'm doing something, unless it's for something. So like I was with you guys for a while, and then I just see everyone just bolt past, and then you'll see them again, and then yeah. So there was a part where like they went fast, and they came to like a cross in the roads, and then they like stopped, and they're looking around. So I'm like standing there like,
Oh no, it's because
right
they
there.
got the wrong way. They went
no.
No,
This
was
was
not
this
this
was another
part?
part, but that
Oh.
part's funny.
Yeah, they got lost like 2 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then
3 times.
At that point, they're like looking around. Where do we go? Where do we go? It's like this way. We're all going this way. So it's like
That was
it's
so
one of those
funny.
things of-
Mark he
Yeah,
went back and was
it
like,
was,
guys, we went straight to Jack's. I was like, what? Oh my gosh.
They
You
went
guys-
at the they
you
went
guys
at the big
must be
boy, and
tired.
that was it.
What about
That's
Attila? Biggest takeaway?
I think that my biggest takeaway is that I still need to be more thoughtful with my gear. Like I've been doing this for almost a year already, and I'm starting to find some nice equipment and stuff to use. But I don't know what happened that day. I looked and was like, I'm gonna use this, and that can mess you up. the
Make
whole
or break
day.
the hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think that was one of the reasons why that hike was kind of hard for me too.
Yeah.
I had to stay the whole day with the big jacket here,
Mhm.
and walking around with that. I need to be really thoughtful about what I'm gonna bring, and know that I'm good with this. And even if I'm not, I'm prepared. But the second takeaway, can I have a second one?
Yes.
No, that's it. Your time's done. Go ahead.
No, I need to prepare more my body. Even though I'm running, I'm trying to do some stuff, but like I'm a heavy like guy, and for me like a long walk for my knees and stuff, like I need to prepare myself more. And
It's endurance.
Yes,
Yeah.
I need to be more active, because if I want to do something like that, I need to be prepared.
Well, you're not gonna allow that for a couple of weeks.
That's true.
Well, no, you can prepare at home.
In my basement, yeah, I have
Well-
a huge basement. I can run from one part to the
No,
other.
no, but
and
I
hit my head in a wood. Oh, No more life. No more nothing.
I found this guy called Chasing Mountains. I even sent you guys some of his videos, and he has like body weight workouts for mountains. I did it 2 times this week.
I did it once.
Two times.
Yeah, 2 times
For 30 minutes each.
But I want to see what kind of impact it has,
Yeah.
because I did his stretches before this hike, and I saw a difference.
Really?
My legs did not suffer as much as in Franconia.
But it's really important to do that.
But I didn't
believe-
take it seriously. But then I saw him, and this guy, he hikes all over the world. So I was like, let me try it. It had a positive impact in my hikes. So now I'm doing his body weight workouts. My plan is to do 3 times a week, and then hopefully go running those other 2 days.
Yeah.
But it's true. Preparation is such a key. I think for me,
So
the
what's your
biggest,
takeaway?
my biggest takeaway is I need to study the trail before I go out.
Yep.
I felt so helpless at moments where we didn't know where to go, because usually I'm pretty good at knowing my direction, but I don't know what happened. This hike, I didn't look at the map. I didn't download the map. I didn't have the map for most of the time. I was
but you
going blind.
downloaded the map.
Marcos downloaded the map. I didn't download. I had the app open, but because I have the free version of all trails, if I don't load the map before we get to the mountain, once we get to the mountain, that usually there's no connection. You can't find. You see you have connection to the satellite, but the map itself is not there.
Yeah.
So it's like I was walking blind. It didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I need to
agree.
know where I'm going. At the very least, I'm going up this trail and I'm going down this trail.
Mm-hmm.
If I know that, the rest I can figure out. But I didn't even know that. So my biggest takeaway: study the trail map just
Nice.
a little bit more. Be prepared.
One of us has to.
One of us.
Awesome.
All right, but that was fun talking.
Was
We
nice.
went a little bit longer, like usual, than we
Always.
wanted.
Always
That we
so
wanted,
long.
but it was fun. Make sure, guys, to subscribe to our channel for more
Please
content
help
like
us.
this. We will be continuing to talk about and reviewing our trails and our experiences. Share this video, comment below if you've ever hiked this trail and what you think about it. And stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Have a great one.